Welcome everybody to my latest video. So for this video, as you can see, we have an unboxing. Now, I'm going to unbox this game that I got, and I'll talk about it, and then I'm also going to talk about, I guess you could say, my experience game-wise with other games of this sort. This might be a long, drawn-out video of talking, so maybe you're interested in it, maybe not. You're not going to see any gameplay. I'll save that for a future video, but maybe I'll give you maybe you guys can guess which game this is. So let's get to it. Now, this game I never thought I would own. I wanted it. I've wanted it for a very long time, but I never thought I would actually own it. And the reason is because people try and sell this game for insane amounts of money. You'll see this game on eBay for $500, $600, $700, and that's what people are trying to get for it. Every now and then someone will pay an insane price. Most of the people who have it don't want to sell it, and very, very rarely do you actually get someone who has it and is willing to sell it at a reasonable price. Now, don't get me wrong, this game does not go for $100. In fact, you know what? That is wrong. Because I just looked on eBay recently, and it looks like one sold for $100. And had I known that, I would have picked it up, even if it wasn't working. So, I saw this game listed for sale on the KLOV forums. In fact, I contacted one person who had this. I thought we had worked out a deal. I presented them with a price. They said, yeah, sounds good. And then they kind of ignored me for a day or so. And, I thought, okay, well, hey, contacted them. Let me know. Are we still on for this deal? And he, basically told me he's going to deal with someone else. He was looking for a trade. And I can't blame him for that. At least he didn't take my money and then hold it. And then tell me weeks later. But then I saw this game come up again, and I was like, yep, I want that. I contacted this person, made them an offer, and they went for it. Alright, so, first clue, this is a Konami arcade game. Now, when you think of Konami, you think of, or at least when you think of Konami arcade games, and you hear that these are going for insane prices. One second. Sorry about that. Had a little interruption, but we're back. So anyways, when you think of Konami arcade games, you think of great games like Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, X-Men. All those are fantastic games. Even Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Sunset Riders. Those are the games that just go for top dollar. This is not one of those games. But it is a Konami game. Now, this game is also part of a very huge, successful franchise, which is possibly no more. I doubt they're going to make any more games for this. The franchise went on to console gaming. As you know, Konami, I think, is pretty much in a clusterfuck of chaos, and they're now only making, like, cell phone games. So, yeah. But, that's why we have our retro systems. Nice packaging. Gotta give this guy credit. Alright, what else can I tell you? The game is apparently hard as hell. There's two versions of it, Rev L and Rev M, and I don't know which one is easier, but one is average and one apparently is hard as hell. And I think this is the hard one. I don't know, I'll find out eventually. Ooh, travel ban revived. Raising pay by cutting jobs. LA is on a fast track to approve DWP contract. Prozac may help treat autism symptoms. Anyways, enough with the news. And here's the game we got. Which game is it? It's Haunted Castle. And as you know, Haunted Castle is basically Castlevania for the arcade. I gotta get a manual. I want to find out what the dip switches do. But yeah, I've been wanting this game for a very long time. I got it at a phenomenal price. And one of the other reasons why I got it is it's like an investment. If I ever had to come up with a good amount of money really quick, I could probably sell this and get more than what I paid for it. If not, at the very minimum, what I paid for it. So, you know, as I said, I would also talk about, you know, my history with the Castlevania series as it's related to this. One of my favorite game series of all time. First Castlevania game I ever played was Castlevania on the Nintendo. Never beat it. I got up to, what was it, the Clock Tower. Never got to face the Grim Reaper. Never could get past that. But I really, really enjoyed the game, even though it was cheap as hell. Let's see, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. That game, I only rented it from whatever rental store I went to at the time. Didn't care for it. I hated how different it was. Remember, that's what Nintendo did back in those days. Castlevania 2 was completely different from the first one. Mario Brothers 2 was completely different. Zelda 2 was completely different. What other games have I played? I played Castlevania 3. I liked that game. Never owned it. Only rented it. And I wish I could have owned it. Never beat it. But liked it. What else did I play? Castlevania Circle of the Moon for the Game Boy Advance. Played it. Beat it. I thought it was an okay game. Didn't care too much for it one way or another. Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, is that how you say it? Love that game. Was that for which game? Which system was that for? Was that for the DS or the Game Boy? Can't remember. Love that game. Very, very fun. I really, really enjoyed it. What else? Oh, Dracula X for the TurboGrafx 16. One of the best Castlevanias ever. Didn't own that game until right around the time the PlayStation came out. Yeah. I actually paid top dollar to have that imported. I hooked up my old Turbo Duo and I played the hell out of that game. Beat it. Phenomenal. Dracula X for the Super Nintendo. I actually like that game. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I think it's actually pretty good. It's maybe an acquired taste, but I liked it. I played another, was it Castlevania something Darkness? I can't remember. Came out on the PlayStation 2 maybe. Can't remember. Main character wasn't a Belmont. He was some guy with a staff or a bow stick or something. I don't know, a sword. Can't remember what it was. It was an okay game. Beat it once, never played it again. Castlevania Lament of Innocence. Love that game. I thought it was the best 3D Castlevania. I know people didn't care for it too much, but I actually liked it. Let's not forget Castlevania 64. I bought that with my hard-earned money, and I really, really, really wanted to enjoy the game, but I just couldn't. It was just horrible. Bad controls, you know the whole deal. I played Castlevania Chronicles on the PSP. Didn't really care for it. The remake version of the game, it was okay. I played was it Castlevania? Well, it was Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP, which was a remake of Dracula X for the TurboGrafx. I also played Castlevania Chronicles on the original PlayStation. Loved that game. Thought it was, you know, a nice mixture of difficulty. What else have I played? Oh, let's not forget my favorite Castlevania game of all time, Symphony of the Night. I can play that again and again and again. My favorite Castlevania of all time. So, it only makes sense that I wanted to get this one, Haunted Castle. So there you are, you know, a little video. Hopefully it didn't take too long. Gonna try and find a manual for this, try and see what the dip switches do up here. I'm gonna try and set it on the easiest setting so I can actually have a chance of beating it. But yeah. So, next few videos, I'll release a gameplay video, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, everything turns out great. So, there you are. Until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.